everyone, Cyndi here with Grome Sewing Machine Company in San Antonio, Texas, and now Universal City, Texas. And today is our Foot Friday Frenzy, and we have saved the very last and best foot for our season 2 just for you. What foot is it? The Ruffler Foot. So we get a lot of phone calls about this little foot here. How does it work? How do we attach it? What are the numbers on it? So we want to make this very simple for you, and let us show you how easy it is. Follow us over to the sewing machine and let us give you a quick demo on this fun foot. Okay, so here we are at the sewing machine. Today we're using a Janome 4120, great little machine. And I chose the Janome because I'm using their ruffler. And let's take a look at the ruffler here for a minute. If you look at the top side of the ruffler, you're going to see numbers. That's 1, 6, 12, and a star, right? So 1 means that it's going to gather every 1 stitch. Sometimes you don't want a gather that close. So you would move it over to the number 6, just like that. And now this means it's going to take 6 stitches and then gather. 6 stitches and then gather. If you go to 12, it does that, right? 12 stitches, gather. The last little hole or slot that you have on your ruffler foot is a star. And the star allows you to just sew straight. So we're going to start with 1 so that you can see how full that gather is. Now, let's look over here at this screw, okay? This screw here is going to determine the fullness of your ruffle. How full do you want that ruffle? Depending on your fabric, sometimes you don't want it that full, or if it's too full, it's gonna struggle feeding. So when you slide it to the left, right, like your sewing machine, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, kind of the same thing with this screw. If I turn it to the left, it's less of a ruffle. If I turn it to the right, then I'm getting more of a ruffle. Now, let's look over here at these little slots. You've got 2 little blades right here. You can kind of see that. That's where your fabric is going to go, in between those 2 little blades. Then you also have guides, right? So you can slide your fabric in these guides, and then that way it's not slipping and sliding on you, and your ruffle is pretty even. Then you also have some little slots up here. Some of the other rufflers might be a little different, but you can run ribbon through this while you're gathering. We're not going to do that today, but it's definitely designed for you to stitch down ribbon at the same time that you're ruffling. So if you're doing little girls' dresses, it is really, really cute. So let's go ahead and attach this ruffler. Now, most rufflers, let me just point this out, you're going to have to remove your thumb screw and remove your shank, right? And on this, using this ruffler, we don't have to do that because this ruffler is a snap-on. So we're going to come over here and we're going to slide this in. Now you see this little fork? I'm going to turn my hand wheel, and then there's your little needle bar, right? We're going to take that fork and we're going to slide it inside there, just like that. Hopefully you can see it. My hand's not in the way. And you're going to just snap your foot on, just like that. That simple. Now we're going to take our fabric and we're going to come in here in between those 2 little blades. Erase my foot, makes it easier. Just like that. And allow yourself a little bit of extra space in the back. So make your ruffle or your piece just a little bit longer. Gives you a good little starting point. Then I'm going to take my fabric and I'm going to run it through that 1 groove right there. And because I know that gathering on number 1 is pretty full, I'm going to turn my dial just a little bit to the left, and we're going to test that out. So before you actually start ruffling, turn your hand wheel 1 full turn and make sure that it is clearing the hole of your ruffler, that your needle's gonna go in smooth without hitting anything, okay? If it doesn't look like it's clearing, then make your adjustments, because all rufflers, you can make an adjustment in that area. And your instructions will show you exactly where that adjustment is at. So I'm gonna go slow because this is, remember, every one stitch. Can you see how pretty and full that is? Now notice my speed. If your machine has the ability to slow down, then go up there and adjust your speed, because the last thing you want to do with this is be stitching at a really high speed. That's a good way to break a needle. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here just so you can get a nice little view. See how pretty and full that is? All right, so now I'm going to change it to 6 here on the lever. And now I want you to see the difference. So that's 6 stitches and gather. Honestly, this is the one that I mostly use. It's a really fun foot to work with. Oh, you know what we forgot to do? You notice how it's not really full? I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this back up, because remember we loosened it for the single stitching ruffle. There we go. Isn't that nice? That's how wonderful and simple using a ruffler is. Well, everyone, I hope that you enjoyed this little ruffler segment and that you now have a better concept of how the ruffler works. Don't be afraid to try it out. We added a quick little ruffle to this tea towel. You can do something like that. If you've got grandkids or daughters and you need to add ruffles, it's a lot better than sitting there and pulling those threads. Now, don't forget to make your adjustments. So if you're using this close ruffle on number 1 setting, make sure that you test it out before you put it on your actual garment, okay? And then if you're doing 6 and maybe the last time you used it, you were at 1, don't forget to adjust it, because then you're gonna end up with this little gap right here, and it's not going to be as full. It comes with really good instructions, and we carry them for just about all the brands that are out there. So if you need a ruffler, make sure to give us a call at either one of our stores. If you like this video, make sure that you're following us on Facebook, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to click that little button down below so that when we start our season 3, you will be the first one to get notified. Until next time, everybody, bye.